and welcome to the World Fish Farming News for the 15th of August, 2024. The seafood companies are calling for political support for the fish counter. The state subsidizes the production of hamburgers and sausages. The Norwegian Directorate of Health encourages more frequent consumption of fish and seafood in its latest dietary guidelines, recommending 300 to 450 grams weekly, including at least 200 grams of fatty fish like salmon and trout, while advising to eat less red and processed meat. However, Robert Holmøy Eriksson, the CEO of the seafood companies, highlights a paradox where healthier options like seafood are priced higher due to state subsidies favoring hamburgers and sausages. To make seafood more competitive and affordable, Eriksson suggests eliminating value-added tax VAT on fish and seafood. Historical data supports the effectiveness of VAT cuts in boosting seafood sales, driving the seafood companies to advocate for this change, aiming to provide healthier and more cost-effective food choices for Norwegian consumers. The Torghatten Aqua Group has turned a profit. Torghatten Aqua, an investment and development group from Brønnøysund, achieved a group turnover of 208.4 million last year, reflecting a growth of 77.3 million from the previous year. The operating result improved by 23.7 million, ending at 1.4 million. The increase in turnover and operating result is mainly driven by salmon prices and production costs, with higher operating results attributed to increased production volumes and prices achieved in 2023. Despite a negative net cash flow of 27.7 million from operational activities, the group had a positive cash flow from financing activities of 67.6 million, resulting in a cash reserve of 80 million at year-end. The group, employing 43 full-time equivalents, had equity of 332 million and total capital of 659.5 million, with an equity ratio of 50.1%. Torghatten Aqua's diverse portfolio includes campus Bømlo schools, aquaculture innovation, Helgeland Miljøfisk, and Bø Salmon. Recently, Nova Sea acquired a third of the parent's shares, and the group was listed on Oslo Børs Note C list in March. Shortly after, the group acquired consultancy firm INAC. Reveals the reputation numbers for the aquaculture industry. Earlier this year, Sjømat Norge was reluctant to share the results of its latest reputation survey, but during the Arendal political festival, they revealed that the aquaculture industry's reputation has dropped to 29 points on a 0-100 scale. This is a significant decline from its stable position above 40 points over the years. According to Henrik Wiedswang Horjen, the communication manager at Sjømat Norge, this decline is not surprising due to numerous negative events related to fish health. The reputation score was even lower, nearing 22 earlier this spring. The trust deficit is particularly noticeable among people in the Oslo area and those aged 30 to 44. Despite the negative media coverage involving high mortality rates and mass escapes, Norwegian salmon remains popular globally. According to Christian Kramer, CEO of the Seafood Council, the current media issues have not significantly impacted the overall reputation of Norwegian salmon. Revenue decline but profit increase for Hallingplast. Hallingplast, a manufacturer known for pipes and feed hoses, allocated 4 million kroner in dividends as part of its annual financial results. Despite a revenue decline of 2.7% from 2022 to 2023, their operating profit increased by 15.4%, and pre-tax profits rose by 7.7% to 40.8 million kroner. Total capitalization at the end of 2023 was 492 million kroner, and liquidity was deemed satisfactory. The company, which also includes Wopas and the newly established Finnish subsidiary Hallingplast Oy, reported equity of 237.9 million kroner and debt of 254.1 million kroner at year-end, with 113 permanent employees. Additionally, Hallingplast is investing 100 million kroner in a new factory in Ål, expected to create approximately 30 new jobs. Vik Settefisk, with a margin jump after ownership change. The new owners have significantly strengthened the equity of the smolt producer located in Øygarden near Bergen. Despite a revenue decline to 43 million NOK last year, down 12.3 million NOK from the previous year, the company managed to increase its operating profit by 2.5 million NOK to 4.1 million NOK, resulting in an operating margin of 9.5%, up from 2.9% in 2022. The company received a group contribution of 31.5 million NOK, boosting its equity to 46.5 million NOK and total capital to 69 million NOK, giving an equity ratio of 67.4% compared to 25.1% in 2022. The business employed 4 full-time equivalents last year. Last summer, Austevoll Melax acquired Vik Settefisk from Øygarden-based Blom, partly to gain access to their own smolt. Polarfeed with explosive growth. We have spent a few years getting to where we want to be. Polarfeed, a fish feed producer based in Oksfjord, achieved a turnover of 551.2 million last year, a substantial increase of 327.9 million from the previous year. The company's operating profit rose by 27.1 million, resulting in an operating margin of 3.8%. COO Thomas Vian Pedersen attributes this success to strategic decisions made over the past few years, emphasizing a focus on fish welfare. Polarfeed plans to expand its production capacity from 28,000 to 60,000 tons and has applied for the necessary permits. The company employs 20 full-time staff and is part of the Nordli Group, which has seen significant growth and investment despite its owner's recent relocation to Switzerland. Ask Vedum to postpone the implementation of the norm price until after 2025. Robert Holmøy Eriksson, CEO of the seafood companies, criticizes the establishment of a price council to set a norm price for Norwegian salmon in relation to the resource rent tax, arguing it creates more problems than it solves. Delays in price announcements until late November could harm Norway's competitive edge in the salmon industry, benefiting competitors in the Faroe Islands. Eriksson urges Finance Minister Driva Vedum to postpone the norm price implementation to post-2025. The uncertainty is negatively impacting future contract negotiations, crucial for the industry's stability and long-term customer relationships. He highlights the risk of losing market share to countries like the Faroe Islands and Chile, where price predictability is not an issue, and insists on the need for political awareness and immediate action to prevent complete chaos. These two get new roles at Grieg Seafood. Miriam Thomassen and Kenneth Knox will strengthen health, safety, and training efforts in Finnmark. Thomassen has had an intriguing journey at Grieg Seafood Finnmark, starting as a temporary worker in 2013, earning her aqua technician certificate and becoming an operations manager in 2017. She is now responsible for overseeing health, safety, and training at all sea locations. Knox, with extensive experience from various construction firms, will manage health, safety, and training at the slaughterhouse and hatchery. Both express enthusiasm for their new roles and the challenges ahead. Why is the Driva case so bad? In an article dated August 14th, ILAX reported that the Norwegian Food Safety Authority, Mattilsynet, declined Driva Aquaculture's application to establish a land-based trout farming facility in Oppdal. The founders of Driva had undertaken extensive preparations, including consultations with Mattilsynet, which had indicated no prohibition against such facilities provided stringent disease prevention measures were in place. Despite comprehensive planning and documentation aligning with guidelines from 2017, Mattilsynet stated in their rejection that although the risk of disease spread was minimal, land-based facilities could still pose general risks. This decision effectively enforces a blanket ban, contrary to a 2007 parliamentary ruling. Driva contends that the rejection, if not reversed, will thwart considerable investments, prompted by early guidance from Mattilsynet. They produce salmon on land for 79 kroner per kilo. Salmon Evolution reported a second quarter EBITDA of 45 million, falling short of the 54 million estimate by Fearnley Securities. The discrepancy is largely attributed to the slaughtering of a poor quality smolt batch, resulting in weaker margins and lower average slaughter weight. The company achieved an average price of 106 per kilogram for Q2, below the Nasdaq Salmon Index of 110.7 per kilogram. Notably, Salmon Evolution reduced its Q3 2024 slaughter guidance from 1,600 tons to between 1,200 and 1,300 tons to build biomass for Q4 2024. Despite these challenges, biomass grew by 1,261 tons during Q2 to a total of 2,032 tons. Fearnley Securities noted that the company achieved an EBITDA cost of 79 per kilogram in Q2, 6% lower than the 85 per kilogram in Q1. However, with production costs at 79 per kilogram and average salmon prices at 74 per kilogram in Q3, Salmon Evolution is not expected to be profitable in the third quarter. Bømlo Skipsservice is heading towards 200 million kroner in revenue this year. Bømlo Skipsservice experienced a 24.9 million kroner increase in turnover, reaching 139.1 million kroner last year. Despite this, the company saw a negative operating result of 19.7 million kroner, worsened by large investments totaling over 170 million kroner in the past 2 years. CEO Sveinung Vestbø highlighted that the shipyard set a turnover record in 2023, but still faced a negative result, which was anticipated due to the significant investments. However, the company's equity was bolstered by approximately 13 million kroner. For 2024, Bømlo Skipsservice has already surpassed last year's turnover by July, predicting a potential 200 million kroner turnover with positive results by year-end. The company employs a long-term modernization plan and aims to increase its customer base. The shipyard, owned by the Eidsvik family through Eidsvik Invest, can now service vessels up to 180 tons in a newly upgraded facility. Salmon Evolution generated 45.4 million Norwegian kroner in EBITDA in the second quarter. Salmon Evolution reported a profitable second quarter, with revenues of 170.5 million NOK, a group EBITDA of 45.4 million NOK, and positive cash flow from operations amounting to 37.5 million NOK. The company achieved an operational profit of 26 million NOK, driven by a record harvest of 1,581 tons and strong overall pricing. For the first half of 2024, the company recorded nearly 300 million NOK in revenue and an aquaculture EBITDA of almost 100 million NOK, showcasing its effective and profitable growth platform. CEO Trond Håkon Schaug Pedersen also highlighted the successful Phase 2 financing package accomplished during the quarter and the ongoing growth prospects in Indre Harøy, supported by strong price realization and high superior quality grades. The company noted a net biomass growth of 1,261 tons and focused on maximizing facility capacity for robust growth in the second half of the year. The company raised 365 million NOK through a directed issue in June and secured increased bank facilities of 675 million NOK, resulting in available liquidity of 983 million NOK by the end of the quarter. The standing biomass was noted at 2,032 tons of salmon. Opened a visitor center for salmon in Arendal. On Tuesday, the Havet som Resurs, Sea as a Resource exhibition opened at the Science Center in Arendal. Established in 2023 and owned by Sekkingstad and Åge Igland, the center aims to provide an interdisciplinary and objective dissemination of knowledge about aquaculture, serving as a new coastal meeting place for those interested in the industry. Officially inaugurated by local officials, the exhibition is set to expand to Kristiansand and Korshavn, offering visits to associated fish farming facilities. Speakers, including Christian Kramer from the Norwegian Seafood Council, addressed the industry's image issues and highlighted the center's role in enhancing competence and attractiveness. The panel of experts agreed on the importance of collaboration, innovative methods, and showcasing the breadth of career opportunities in aquaculture to ensure sustainable recruitment and industry growth. This is how scientists aim to increase the salmon's resistance to lice. A recent study suggests that improving the resistance of farmed Atlantic salmon to sea lice might be possible by studying the coho salmon, a distant relative. Researchers found that layers of skin cells called keratinocytes play a crucial role in triggering local swelling that helps coho salmon remove and kill sea lice. This discovery provides insights that could be applied through genetic tools like breeding and gene editing to enhance the resistance of Atlantic salmon. The study, led by scientists from the Roslin Institute and NOFEMA, and involving multiple international universities, aims to address the costly and often ineffective current treatments for sea lice in Atlantic salmon farming.